All right, this is Wrestle Babble podcast, part of the Commentary Table YouTube channel. We are going to talk about Raw that just went off the air for 6/16/2025. I dated the podcast with the date exactly. We usually stream during these. Stuff comes up, and this allows us to do a podcast at the very least and talk about what we just seen and anything else from the weekend that may have happened. Where do you want to jump in at, Ben?
Um, I think maybe the women's qualifier for Queen of the Ring.
Sure.
I'm trying to keep that fresh in my head.
Okay.
Um, we got a pretty interesting match overall. I really kind of like this one. Where um, I don't know if you got to see too much of it, but I wasn't sure with like everyone put together in this.
A lot of different styles. A lot of
I
different
was
styles.
excited for Stephanie Vakir
Oh,
and
that's never
Asuka returning
okay.
because I figured they've met before in Japan and done that. I didn't think this would be like their first ever meeting, although I don't know.
I hope I'm far enough
So,
away that that didn't just glug as you were talking the entire way through. My bad. Keep going.
well, I hopefully talked over it.
Yes, there we
Um,
go. We're gonna go for that one.
but I was very interesting for like at least my first glimpse of how those two would gel together, and I wasn't disappointed. I would have liked to see Asuka take Devil's Kiss, and I don't think we got to see that.
Now that was Raquel that
But
took that on the
but
apron.
yeah, yeah, it's interesting. She's doing it in different spots.
She's trying to be creative with it. Yep.
Yeah, uh, PLE were doing it on the ladder to Rhea,
Yep.
and then just melting off of the ladder after that, and
Mm-hmm.
not doing it on the apron. Uh, are they gonna do it on the announce table someday? Maybe in front of Booker
Yeah,
T, so I
Booker's
can
ever
just
at the
sit there
announce
going,
table. Yes,
"Yeah,
I
yeah,"
can only imagine.
and then we find out a day later his wife has divorced him.
The move would end, and a lawyer would drop an envelope on the desk immediately. That's what would happen.
Damn! Oh, wrong guy.
Yeah. Farouk just walks by.
He's sitting out back, just behind them. It's like, Farouk's here hanging out. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, it'd be the most appropriate
damn,
time in real life just to walk by.
it would be. Oh
Uh,
God. Um, yeah, that was pretty good. You know, I think I underestimate Raquel. I don't know why.
it's because
I
right now she's a
don't.
sidekick.
Yeah.
That's why.
I guess so. I guess maybe if I would have been watching while she was in NXT, like I'd be, as our truth would say, be putting more respect on her name. Uh, but I think after tonight's match, where it's just like, well, she's on her own in this fatal four way, I think I came to respect her quite a bit more, even though for storyline purposes they serve her up the loss because she interfered with Rhea, so she pays her back for that.
Right.
Um, but overall, I think in the match, I was the least actually impressed in the ring with Asuka, which is weird. I'm normally like, oh my god, she's the best part of the show when she's in a match. But this being her match where she came back from a injury, having to get surgery on her knee, wearing a knee brace. I mean, she did great. It's just the other three kind of had me more enthralled. I don't
Okay.
know why that is, but I was just more focused on the other thing. She didn't take away from it. She didn't hamper it, but um well, the face paint's amazing. But from the match itself, she didn't hurt anything. I don't know. I think I was into everybody else in that match instead,
That's fair.
and just enjoying my time.
Yeah. Um,
Which
I feel like again, if you were watching before the Raquel sidekick moment here, because she did have a feud with Rhea at one point. She was relatively dominant at times in NXT. I think I think that would be something you'd be happy to see coming back out of her. essentially, as
Oh
opposed
yeah.
to just seeing it for the first time. As someone who did watch all of that, the sidekick stuff actually I enjoy because it does give another dimension to her character because I've already been used to her being a powerhouse essentially. I think she's even labeled that way in the game in 2K25 as some type of like giant, I believe. Is she a giant in that?
Oh boy, I'm trying to remember.
I'd have to look that back up again.
I think maybe they gave her a giant just because they needed.
Well, she was
There's so few women with the height to be giant. I mean, I
right.
can only think of like four if you include her. Uh, well, Rhea isn't even a giant, even though she could be. Shitteri's
I think she can
uh,
transition to giant though if you need her to.
yeah, she's
She can bounce back and forth on that one,
I'm forgetting the
like Bruiser or
one.
something.
Yeah, Bruiser. That's what. Thank you. I
Yep.
kept wanting to say Brawler, but I'm like, that's not
Those
it.
two have had battles before, which is why they can kind of both be in the same category. And I think she actually is a giant in the game. Either way, she's a powerhouse, and that's
Mhm.
how they used to use her. So this has allowed her to have a secondary, or not a secondary, another dimension to her character, and I think it's been going well. But I
They
think it's
keep.
almost seemingly time for her to break back out again and show that she's a powerhouse as we go forward here,
Yeah, I think so.
and that's what they're
With
doing. So,
this injury that showed up, might give her more excuse to do so. But
yeah,
we'll
we'll see how
get
long it
to,
takes to recover from the. Hopefully, it's just a dislocated shoulder. They can pop it back in place, and
and that's it.
yeah,
Just a
give
little
her
bit of
some
rest,
rest
and you're
and
fine.
yeah, a week or two, and let her
Hopefully.
rest and go from there. But live after that injury, looked
Um,
normal. Just hit hard on the elbow and apparently popped the shoulder.
But she has been showing off as a powerhouse, like you said, because she keeps with Stephanie Vakir, she keeps doing the pick her up on her shoulders from the Devil's Kiss attempt,
Yep.
and
Hmm.
this is like a multiple time they've done that now tonight. It wasn't the first; it's at least been the second time, if not more.
Right. So they're going to show off that powerhouse scenario, but they only want to bring that out when she seemingly has to wrestle another powerhouse. In this case, Ripley, which they're obviously setting up. So that
Yeah.
part made sense for the match, and I think that all looked really good. Um, I'm trying to think who was the other one in the ring besides Ripley, Asuka, not Ripley. I'm sorry, Ripley, Asuka, Raquel, Ivy. Was it triple threat? Why do I want to say there was a fourth?
Sorry, I was getting this barky dog, so he'd shut up.
Right.
What? I'm sorry. What were you
I'm
saying?
remembering three people. Was it a triple threat match or a fatal four? That was a fatal four way.
For the women's?
Yeah.
Fail 4-way.
Who am I
Yeah,
missing?
it was so Stephanie,
Stephanie
Raquel.
Victor. That's what I'm missing. Yeah,
Oh,
she's doing
that's
her
what you
thing.
missed.
She's popular. Everything's over. She's gonna look good no matter what. I think Asuka actually looked really good for being off for 13 weeks. 13 months, I should say. A lot of explosiveness, a lot of high energy. Still zero slowdowns. The hip attack out of the knocking the person out of the ring, catching herself on the ropes. The missile drop kick, knocking the two people off the Raquel's shoulder. I think it was. All looked really
Yeah.
good. I think it looked really explosive to me. I really like Ivy, but I felt like she's the one who kind of faded in the background to me in this match.
Oh, okay. I was paying attention a lot to Ivy for some reason, even though that was the one I was starting to forget in this. But just by name, I remember her being in there, and I don't know. I was kind of focused on her and really Stephanie kind of coming to blows in that match quite a bit. So
You know what? Also could um, disrupt our opinions of matches is that I'm watching during the commercial and you're not.
yeah,
Someone could have an entire dominant 3 minutes part of a commercial break and you see none of it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. Yes,
So
you're right.
that might be why I'm looking at Asuka's performance because maybe, and I have to watch it back. If I watch it back, I don't get commercials, so I would see exactly what you saw if I watched it back. It would just be the cuts.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I might have to do that to see if that changes my opinion. But Ivy's great, and
yeah.
for
Maybe I
me,
missed something.
yeah, maybe it was the commercial breaks or whatever. But Asuka looked good. I'm a little surprised Asuka won.
Yeah,
But
I was kind of surprised by that because lately, what it seems like WWE's been doing with folks returning is like they'll put them in some like qualifying match like this, and they're just kind of in there to get their feet wet again and kind of get back into the motion of all that, and then they're not the one getting pushed, but this time got to go ahead. But she's going against Bliss for the semifinals, so maybe it's just to give a good match with Bliss, and Bliss moves on.
I'd imagine so. Because again, same thing we talked about last week briefly with this match is that Io's the champion. So does it really make any sense for Asuka to go after Io?
Not really.
So yeah, I think that gives her the win. I think Bliss more than likely takes the win next week, and then it's really, really, we're gonna do this. I'm sure he saw. We're just gonna wait a moment. The session connections are just not great all the time. The session connections are just not great at times.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, no, I just sat here and talked about it, like, yep, just gonna wait. He was staring directly at the camera. I assume he's gonna know that he's not there. Was pretty much the dialogue.
Yeah, I'm basically, I got you right underneath my camera, so I'm like staring at your face. So if you go away while we're doing this, I know.
Right. So, but anyways, yeah, Bliss probably gets the win, moves on, and takes on Io. We'll see. It looked like they were setting up something for Liv and Io, but we'll see if that gets put in the back burner now.
Well, Bliss, when she's got one more person to go against on the other side, because it's a bracket of 16. It starts with a fatal four-way.
That's true.
And then the winners of the four fatal four ways go against each other, and then there's a finals to then go against
each other from different shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the other side, but that makes sense. So yeah, it might even be. I guess technically in that scenario, Asuka can make it to the finals and lose.
Yeah.
And then it'd be whoever's on Tiffy's side that has the headache.
Yeah.
But actually, that's a lot on Tiffy's side. Let's hope that I don't see that happening now that I think about it, because technically Naomi can cash in whenever, but she's hanging out on SmackDown right now. She hasn't been seen on Raw. Yeah. So you'd have the King of the Ring winner, Queen of the Ring winner, and the Money in the Bank winner both running around on SmackDown. And poor Tiffy being like, and I got Nia. The hell with my life. What the hell's going on over here? Yeah. So I doubt it's going to work out that way. But so, yeah, I mean, it was a fun match. I thought it was a good return for Asuka. Everyone did a good job. No complaints. The show actually kicked off with Liv, which they interestingly showed her knocking Nikki out with the Oblivion. Again, reminding people they're doing Revolution Round 2. So.
Yeah. And then who is she calling? Oh, she's calling out Io.
Yeah, she called out Io. But I guess we're just going to jump to the next thing. I'll jump to the thing I watched next, or caught my eye next, was the Judgment Day segment in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting watching that whole dichotomy of how that's playing out. Liv getting frustrated because Raquel wasn't cleared to go do anything. And then Finn kind of saying good job to Raquel, who looked like she was happy about it. But then she was also unhappy because Finn was plotting something with Roxanne.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we got to see any of because of the dislocated shoulder and the start of Liv's match.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet that Roxanne was supposed to come down in some way, shape, or form, try to help Liv get the win to keep going. Look, she's good, but...
Oh, wow, yeah, that probably totally messed up a spot, didn't it?
Right, because, I mean, he's like, I know Liv doesn't want you out there for help, but I got an idea. And they walked away, and that was the ending of that segment. And then Liv gets hurt on the first move. and that whole thing gets probably tossed. So, and then Dom taking some charge out there.
Yeah.
I think you should stay back, Finn. And Finn's like, okay, you're right. You go out and help JD.
Yeah, well, that's to build up all that tension
Yeah,
with them, where it's just like, boy, they're gonna slow roll splitting them up.
they will until
I've been working on it for like over a year now. It feels like.
they put the dagger through with Finn somehow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll have to wait and
What?
see. I could see it end up still being Finn and Liv leave.
What?
Roxanne somehow ends up at Dom at the end of this, just to.
What? What if that ends up being the way that Finn brings back the demon finally? He gets so fucking totally pissed off at Dom and just sets up a match for PLE and just comes out as the demon and just intimidates the shit out of him and just beats his ass.
They definitely should bring back the demon, and he should definitely get a dominant win because right now the bad taste on the demon is that he lost in Hell in a Cell to Edge, and then Edge ran off to their company.
Yeah.
They let Edge get over on the demon, even though Finn's the one who took like a ladder to the dome and got like 13 or 14 staples mid match and then continued.
Ow.
They
Fucking
stapled
shit.
him during the match. They cut to Edge, and Edge just kind of looked, Edge like somewhere in the ring. They did that thing where they didn't show him at all. And then they closed the wound up with staples, and they got him back out there again, and he kept wrestling in that match.
Jesus.
So, again, just WWE, in my opinion, back in the wrong horse. Edge had his time. He's fantastic. I have no problem with Edge. But at that point in their careers, riding the hype train of having Edge back for a year or whatever was not the right call to have him beat the demon. But whatever. I'd bring
Well,
him back for that reason.
did they know Edge was going to take off right after that? Lost
Probably
to
not,
Finn?
but you always could be worried about that because the older
Yeah.
talent, here's the thing AEW offers you. It offers you a more flexible schedule and more control over your character. So if
Yeah.
you're an older athlete, that sounds wonderful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As opposed to
Yeah.
being set to these ways and being set to these dates and being set to, having that kind of flexibility. If you've got a wife, if you've got kids and you've got the bank account already, sounds way better to me than do these exact dates and these exact signings and these exact showings and these, because WWE is more structured like that.
Oh, yeah.
For what I can understand. So, I mean, that's me. But here's the thing. Right now, the way Finn's character is, if they're going to bring him back as the demon, it's almost got to be like a Joker-inspired demon. Because right now, he's more manipulative and conniving than he is pissed. Previous demon iterations, he's come back and they've made him mad. They've attacked him. They've done this. They brought the demon out of him and stuff like that. This demon seems much more maniacal. So he always changes up the pain a little bit. That he's ever done that. He's done that since New Japan with the Prince Devitt and the Venom looks and stuff like that. And even throughout his WWE career, especially in NXT, he had the Jack the Ripper look with the top hat and stuff like that. He's come out with just self-inspired demon paint. So he's mixed it up a little bit. But I think if he comes out as the demon because these guys have driven him insane, I think more of a Joker-inspired demon paint scheme would be pretty cool for his return as a demon.
Yeah, that would be cool, but I almost figure they're gonna go a little bit lamer with it. Like he's just secretly so pissed off at Dom that he's just gonna be angry demon again.
I mean,
That's
I
how I kind
think
of
the
see
only way
it.
that happens is if like the entire Judgment Day turn on him, including JD at this point, because JD seems the closest to Finn.
Yeah.
So, which is possible. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, it seems like Liv is growing further from all of them, psychologically speaking, in the story, and Finn is just trying to self-implode the thing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What else jumped out at you?
What else did really jump out at me? Trying to hang back from just jumping straight into the men's 4-way for King of the Ring.
I do have something else I can
Um,
talk about. I'm just trying to do like a balance back and forth thing. But if you're drawing a blank to keep it rolling, I can jump into something that I noticed during the show. We talked about a little
yeah,
bit.
since you got something else, go for it because I don't want to sit here and just go
While we
and bring
wait,
it
yeah, we
down.
can go
Yeah,
from this and we can jump into the main event after that if you want to.
that's fine.
But my thing was is that we even saw this last week. What is going on with the production of the show?
Oh, yeah.
What is
Yeah, you said
going
you want to talk
on
about this.
with the production of the show? Last week they ran a match and a video package for the match after the match had played. If I'm not mistaken, they even said like up next, like a little graphic for a
Yeah.
match that it either was going on or was already over.
Yeah, it had ended.
Right. Like still to come, I think is what it said. And that
Yeah.
match already happened. Tonight we're watching and Judgment Day is talking, and then that Judgment Day segment we just talked about, you know, JD looks at Dom and says, like, yeah, we're going out there now. And they walk away, and next thing you know, Gunther's music hits, and
Yeah.
Gunther's walking out to the ring. That pre-film thing happened, obviously was meant to lead into the Judgment Day match. Unless they got ready in a Lambo, like you said, like Lambeau Field across the way, and had to
They had to
walk
go
all the way
across the
over to this
street.
arena, it doesn't make any sense why they left saying that their match is next, essentially, and Gunther came out. So, but this kind of stuff has been happening more and more, and we know Trips' attention to detail on hitting your points in your entrance and doing this and lighting cues. It just seems so weird to me that it seems like matches, or at least the segments, are getting flip-flopped out of position
Yeah, it's
in a
looking
way that's
sloppy.
noticeable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned like maybe does it feel like Trips ain't in charge of things at the time? And I said I don't know who would be out there back there right now during a live show to outrule him, but you're right. That's kind of the feel we're getting.
Feels like someone's there interfering in his ear or going like, well, actually, we'd really like it to go like this. And he's going like, okay, well, you
It
guys
doesn't
fucking
flow
pay
at
me,
all.
fine.
Like he'd have to be sitting there going,
Yeah.
"This ain't gonna flow." I had a plan. There's a script to this, guys. Like a layout, an outline. This package here. This match runs here, and maybe, like I said, if you like, say there is somebody from TKO or whatever the case may be, changing it up for the flow of the show. Like, okay, we just had this moment where a good guy won. Now let's get Gunther out there. Let's get the bad guy out there so that the story arc and the feel of the show does that whole waveform thing. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it just seems for a company, and especially for Triple H, who we know handles things so
He knocked a board over on himself.
Wally Coyote'd himself. Fantastic.
Dummy.
Poor pup. For someone so attuned to attention to detail, for these massive changes, for either matches to be swapped or packages to be swapped, it's just like, what's going on? And then, additionally, we'll lead into that whole scenario with Gunther with Goldberg's return. Like horrible.
Oh.
Like no secret there.
Yeah, they fucked that up too.
Well, yeah, one of two things had to happen there. One, I missed part of it. You told me he essentially said that Goldberg's not showing up. Gunther came out there and said he ain't going to show up.
Yeah, they started chanting Goldberg, and it was like, oh, he's ain't going to show up. I took care of him. I sent him off.
Right.
And that's the moment for his music to hit.
In theory.
They waited 20 to 30 seconds later for Gunther to say some other
Yeah, poor Gunther's vamping.
Babble. And then all of a sudden, finally, Goldberg's music hits, and he just kind of gingerly walks out here, sweats himself to death by walking.
It's that ramp. It's even assisted him downhill and didn't matter.
He didn't have any energy to what he was doing, and he showed up going like, "Oh, these lights are hot."
I mean, yeah, and I think he does get some pyro, so a poppy type, not flamey type. But
Yeah.
See, yeah, you're 100% right. And if you're gonna hit his music, then that's like you said, that's the cue to do it. When he's not gonna show up, you hit his music. My other problem with it though is that I always have a problem when wrestlers are like, that person's supposed to be a surprise, and the person in the ring goes, they're not gonna show up. they're not gonna be here. But they've been in the back the entire time. Like, you didn't bump into him. You had no idea
Yeah.
he was here.
The
It's
whole crowd
Goldberg.
knows they're here.
Right. It's Goldberg. Like, everybody in the back would have talked to Goldberg a little bit. Like, he would have been like shooing people away to go to his dressing room. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been able to get to the back without knowing Goldberg was there. So, like, from a psychology standpoint, I don't like when they come out and say, he's not coming. He's not here, blah, blah, blah. You would have seen him. He was also in the back. He should have came from the crowd.
Yeah, it's really breaks the suspension of disbelief.
Right.
It's just like, you're taking us out of the show at that point.
Right. Now, it's a silly little thing, but like, for a company that's been on fire the past like 3 years with their attention to detail and how they're doing stuff, the fact that they missed an opportunity for the Q, if that's when it was supposed to be, and then just the whole setup makes no sense. And then to me, again, Goldberg saying you're mine because you're next, just skip the you're mine part, like on the script, and just say you're next. That's your line. That's your gimmick. We all know he clearly, if he's next, he's yours. This is Operation Redundancy here. Don't say both lines. Just say the tagline. It's your thing. It's your thing.
Yeah, that was dumb. At Clash of Champions, you're mine because you're next. Like, you ruined it.
Right. Just say you're next. It's
you
your
just
thing.
should. Yeah, it would have been just at Clash of Champions. You're next.
Yeah, we all know. We all
less
know.
is more.
Right. It's your line. Don't muddy up things around your line. It's your line.
It's like when The Rock came back after he was away in Hollywood for a little bit for like, say, like the John Cena matches, that stuff. He came back rusty as shit back then, and you could tell it was almost like he was writing his lines on his hand, going like, and then The Rock.
He's not Randy Orton, but yes.
But seriously, he came back that rusty and bad at the time where I'm like, oh shit, I would be all over his ass if I was like his opponent. Just
the Tooth Fairy took a lot out of him, all right? He was filming stuff like the Tooth Fairy.
I mean, yeah, you use that against him too. Although I think they did.
I think they did, yeah.
but yeah, you know, you hammer him with everything, but jeez, it was almost like, I mean, Goldberg was just wrestling like what, 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, but how old is Goldberg now?
Well, another 5 years or whatever.
Right. So he's but is he 60 now?
Boy, you could be by now.
Right.
But yeah, I just, coming back rusty as shit again. I just
listen. His whole persona is 100% intensity. That's what got him through everything. Now, back then he was athletic in terms of his strength and some explosiveness and intense.
I mean, I know he wasn't a mic guy, but that's why you keep it short and you just go
just
like,
say
you're
line,
next.
Man. You got a tagline everyone knows. Also, don't
do the bit.
Yeah, do the bit. You got a bit, stick to the bit. You already have the bit, just stick to it. So many people want to figure out a bit. You have it, and it's easy. Just do it.
You go and hit your head on a locker and go, you're next. That's
right.
it.
Nailed it. All right. If you're DX and you fumble around a little bit, you just go, I got 2 words for you. And you're golden. Yeah. Crowd's got you. All right. Fandango wants to come back out. Just do this dance to the song. You're good. Like, you're done.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all you need to do. People will love you.
Here's your stick. Stick to it.
Right.
Don't try to ad lib.
Right. If you can break out and do more, fantastic. But let me tell you, that did not work well for you today, Goldberg. Did not work well for you at all today. And I couldn't get past the fact you're wearing a shirt, which I get it. You're a car guy. But that's the Undertaker's last. That's his finisher. Like, you can't have a shirt that says the last ride. I know what it means. I get you're a car guy. It works. But it's his finisher, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So
almost wish you would have heard the gong hit and he shows up and goes like, what the fuck
gimmick infringement.
Yeah.
And walks away. Choke slams and walks away.
That's my shit.
Right. Yeah, no, gimmick infringement. There we go. That's the line we got to bring back. But it all makes sense. Obviously, that's why Gunther beat Jay for the belt.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want Goldberg getting booed because he's going against Jay. So that makes all the sense in the world.
The the next match with Jay is interesting because it's against Cody.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, be like, okay, well,
But
which
they
one of
immediately
them's
gave
gonna...
back Jay momentum, which is the key. As we go into the main event, that's, he looked like he hit a brick wall essentially and lost, and thus losing his momentum to a little bit of degree, just slowing down. It's like that stumble, like you trip while walking, but you're still on your feet. You're okay. You've slowed down a little bit. You looked a little silly, but you're okay.
Fucking Rikishi's calling for the writers' heads.
Yeah, you gotta
fire them all. Shut up.
Yeah, you gotta listen.
You
You gotta have a
dancing
little
buffoon.
bit of faith. And if they come back a week later and write the situation, and there's like, we talked about it when Gunther was entering the building, essentially. Like, there has to be a reason they did this. And immediately, now that we know Goldberg is definitely going to be his opponent, well, there's your reason. We know why the reason happened now. So I don't want to badmouth the writers after 1 week. I got to give them time to show what they're going to do. Now, I can still sit here and go, what the hell was The Rock doing from WrestleMania? Where's you're supposed to take us on a ride, okay? You're supposed to take us on a ride. We're still going up a hill, I guess. I don't really know where The Rock is. Like, we're still just, this is the longest click, 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 up this roller coaster we're supposedly on, because I don't know where the hell he went. All right.
Fucking Rock took us to Disneyland and then fucking left while we were on the ride.
The ride broke. We were still just sitting there on the hill. That's what happened. I'm going to take you for a ride.
Where's Dad?
Right. Right. Like,
Dad left.
You're going to take you for a ride, son. Get on the roller coaster. Get off the roller. Where's Dad? Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
It's the missing persons thing instead of like, we have a lost child. We have a lost dad.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
The Rock just left us, man. He went and got some milk or some nonsense, a Zoa.
Your kids are here, said you left them on a ride you didn't finish.
Yeah. You said you'd be waiting there at the end, and you weren't there.
No.
So,
God, what an analogy.
Probably could have done a better one, but you know what? It still kind of works.
Yeah, we couldn't do the thing where he went out for milk and never came back because it didn't quite work.
No, but Zoa's
on a ride.
He left for a Zoa. Got lost. I don't know. I mean, The Rock will come back and do something cool, and people will love him because he's The Rock, self-included. So I'm not mad about it. But like, you can't tell me you gotta wait. We got a ride planned for you, and then just disappear. Okay?
Yeah, and then he ends up on. Was it
and then I'm booking hotels for New Orleans, and then you don't even show up to New Orleans. For crying out loud, the ride took a zig. The cart fell off the track.
He was even just interviewed where he's just like, oh no, I did my part. That was it. That was all I needed to do. It's like,
I showed up.
No, you made it sound like there was more, and we're expecting more at WrestleMania. The grandest stage of them all. And you didn't show up for it.
Gave us Travis Scott.
Yeah, you pushed out the asshole that fucking injured our guy.
Right.
Possibly broke his eardrum. And you're like, go on back out there. And,
I hope he's in the Rumble next year. I hope he's Speed.
Oh, God. Yeah, have someone fucking obliterate him.
Braun just with his 23-mile-an-hour spear.
They just throw him out of the fucking ring like a rag doll. He takes a nice hard bump on the outside and goes like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes I hate to say it, but in all combat sports to some degree that happens, man. There are people who just think maybe they don't even realize it, but they just go overboard. And sometimes, you don't want to hurt the guy. You don't want to injure him, but a good stiff wake-up call gets their attention better than anything else.
It's kind of like how the old timers talk about breaking into the business, where it's just like, first doing it, they want to see if you really want to do this, and they just hurt you. They beat the living hell out of you to try and run you off and take your money. But if you come back,
see, that wouldn't have worked for me. It's one thing to watch every.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't have ran off. You would have come back and be like, "All right, I'm gonna get you now."
I'm gonna at least throw a leg kick that buckles you. That's what I'm doing, okay?
Yeah.
It's going to look like you sold for me, but it's going to hurt. Okay, I'm gonna make you feel it. You're gonna light me up. I'm gonna light you up.
I made you sell that.
Right,
Because it
exactly.
hurt.
Like if you, I get it. We've watched enough indie wrestling. Like I've watched friends of mine, acquaintances, however you want to put it. Like when Dominic Guarini of AIW notoriety wrestled Chase Oliver in Chase's like trainer versus person match. Tom lit Chase up with chops like crazy. As much as I hate chops, I refer them as civil suits because punch me all you want. Don't you dare chop me. Hit me with a chair, hit me with a kendo stick. I don't care. I'll fall on tax. Get the chops away from me, okay? But so I get it though. It's a rite of passage. But stiff shots to the jaw or whatever, like if you're throwing some hard forearm shots or something in there, you're taking a leg kick. I'm going to make sure I buckle. You're going to have a good size welt. You're going to sell even if you don't want to sell because it's going to hurt. Okay.
You're going to hand out a receipt.
Exactly. That's going to happen. Like again, chops. Okay. I hate it. It's part of the business. You're going to get this one match with me where you do it. This one match, trainer. But that's where we're at with it. But, yeah. Besides that though, like anything besides that, and you're going to get a receipt. But, I don't know. It's good that Jay got his momentum back. Does set up a really fun match with Cody, but I don't know what you do. Who takes the belt is what I want to know. Like, I'm still trying to figure out who takes the belt in the end from Cena. Someone's going to.
Yeah.
Is there a bigger bad and evil right now than Cena?
I don't know. Like
The Rock is probably the bigger bad, right?
Yeah, he would be the bigger bad.
There's no way that The Rock somehow wins the belt and Cena has to come back as good Super Cena to save wrestling, right?
Or
run out of dates, but
that's possible. But yeah, I mean that would be a way. I mean, it almost seems like they're going to turn Cena back.
Right, it's hard to believe he's going to end his career this character.
Yeah,
I'm fine if he does. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it does anything besides just show a little more versatility. He's still Cena. It's not like he's.
Maybe it's got to come down to some sort of thing where The Rock actually shows up and does shit, but he has to turn back on The Rock to become face again.
Something has to happen because also The Rock chose him to be his champion, and how does that end? Like, if you're Trips, you come out and go, "Good call, Rock. We lost our belt now. Thanks." Like, what do you do? Like,
yeah.
This is why you don't have any say in TKO.
He took it and went home.
Right.
And now what, Rock?
Yeah. Good call with your champion pick. You know what? That's fine. Just send Travis Scott back out. He solves all your problems.
Oh, God.
We'll make him champion. Why not? Screw it.
Look, I just started watching again. Don't fucking make me stop for another 20 years.
Right.
God
yeah.
damn.
So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm glad that Jay got his momentum back, although I don't know what happens next with him and Cody. You want to think they're going to let Jay get a chance to get back all of his momentum. At the same time, it does feel like Cody Cena is the inevitable match. To me, it does. The rematch, especially after how easy Cody went down.
Yeah, they really like to do those long, drawn-out rematches right now.
Yeah, well, that's
for years now.
Right. They also just like the long, drawn-out. Like, this guy is clearly going to be the one that takes you down at some point. Like Cody in the first place. Like 2 years of Cody getting to Roman essentially before finally defeating the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Again, here you only have a full 2 years because Cena only has a year. So, but like a 7-month ordeal.
There's no way they actually draw this out to WrestleMania. I mean, it's got.
He's supposed to be done before that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be, but I don't know. In a way, it just
It does seem weird that he's not
doesn't make
going
any
to
sense.
finish this up at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's like they've kind of put it as their season ends at WrestleMania and restarts the Monday after.
But his countdown dates, I believe, are ending in December.
Yeah, because he came back basically in January.
Yep. I didn't need to know that. My phone just told me what my watch on my phone just told me what time it was. Okay. That might have been picked up by my mic. I have no idea.
It was. I heard it.
Yeah, I
I heard it.
Neither one were activated like I asked it a question like that. Nothing. It just blurted out what time it was.
That's strange.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Who would you like to see win that match? Cody or Jay?
I kind of personally like to see Jay. I kind of want to see more momentum and kind of just some really more legitimate, making Jay more legitimate, like more work with that. Because right now we got it with Cody. Like he's like I see Cody now just as a made man. He just is.
Here's the problem.
What's the problem?
I think the King of the Rings are stuck at their own shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cena's not supposedly going to give a rematch to anybody that he beats. Cody doesn't have another way to get a title shot. Jay's on the other show.
He has to do it this way in order to get his title shot, huh?
That's how they're building it for right now. They could always go, you have to compete in this new thing we just did that the winner gets the title. You know what I mean? They could always do that.
Yeah.
The something machine, as that one movie said, but then it came to smoking on Mars or whatever. It's no problem. We just write in a line about the something machine makes it possible. Same idea. But as of right now, as it stands right now, the only way he gets another title shot is if he wins this. So Jay, it feels like, could have a title shot against Gunther or whoever beats Gunther. Also, do we have a search party out for Kaiser yet? Should we send a search party for Kaiser?
Yeah, what's going on with him? It's almost like he got cut and no one told us.
I don't know. Spending time with Charlotte. I have no idea where he's at. I'm no idea.
Is that why we're not really seeing Charlotte as much?
Right. They're a little bit busy. I don't know. I have no idea.
He's at home DMing me.
Right. Kaiser had such a strong push going there for such a short time and then just gone. So
yeah, he was, right? He was like being built for either the US or Intercontinental.
Yeah, he was battling with Penta and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was doing matches, and then he was doing some of the commercial break stuff. It's gone completely to Chad Gable. And then just gone. Just gone.
Yeah.
Beats me.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, like some of these people where it's just like you're seeing them like they're building towards something, it seems like, and then all of a sudden it's like, where the fuck did they go?
That's been a consistent problem with this company. 100% a consistent problem with this company. It happens a lot.
At times when it makes sense, like say Nia Jax finally got beat by Tiffy, and you don't see Nia Jax anymore. She's taking a break. That makes sense.
And it makes sense because there was a build, there was the match, there was the situation, which was the loss of the title, and then this is the way back down. She's off screen essentially because we've already hit the climax of the storytelling, and then she can come back and reunite herself reunite the story like she just did. But to build up a guy, did The Rock write Kaiser's storyline? Is that what we have happen? The Rock does not like the come down. He doesn't like the end period of stuff. He just wants to do the upward motion, and then he stops. He stops writing at that point. So takes us for a ride and stops right here. I don't have any other option. I have no idea why.
It's It's like
Kaiser
someone
description.
running at a camera and going past it, and as they go past it, they go, "Watch this," and the camera doesn't turn around to watch them.
Right. I
You're
mean,
just you're like, I want to see it. Where'd he go?
cool stuff is happening. I hear it going on off the screen. What is happening?
Is he coming back? He's not coming back, is he? It's been a month.
Yeah.
It's been 2 months. What the fuck? Where'd he go?
Right.
He said, "Watch this." I wanted to. Why is he
Right.
gone?
Uh,
That's dumb.
let me enjoy what you want me to enjoy. What are you doing? Yeah, it's I don't know. I've been thinking about Kaiser and where he went, and I don't know where he went because he's not on TV. Also, keep an eye on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Kind of on mild search for that because they kind of went through a storyline where they're breaking those two up, and I think it's been a week or two.
Yeah. All I got to see my end was in the back, like bickering with the New Day as like Xavier Woods is dressed as like a old pimp
Is
for
that
some
tonight?
reason. Yeah, that was tonight.
All right. So yeah, that's been the theme: is that Austin Theory has been kind of becoming a good guy, and Grayson Waller is listening to New Day telling him he doesn't need Austin Theory.
Yeah. The four of them were just backstage after you talked about the segment that was during the commercial that you got to see
Right.
with the two of them dressed very awkwardly.
I'm not gonna be able to see it, but I don't know if they promoted it on the show or not. But I think it was during one of the commercials. It looks like they're gonna do another Mexican Super Show. It might even be called July 26th.
Oh, okay.
Must be another YouTube show. I
That is
will have to watch
Saturday.
it the next day. And something's going on July 27th as well. So,
Oh, okay. So they're doing shows on the weekend there,
yep,
Saturday and Sunday.
yep.
Gotcha.
The Penta was one of the commercials. I didn't have a chance to actually hear it. It was just on. I saw it on this screen before I threw it up on the big screen when I was getting distracted. But I saw the dates, so we can look up what those are. But they look like they're more AAA shows in July, 26th and 27th.
Cool. I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I mean,
watched a little bit of AEW this week. What was it? Or last week? Wednesday. I watched Wednesday's show.
Dynamite, their big show. Yeah,
that thing went friggin' long. Is it always like over 4 hours long?
No, they've been doing what they call special editions for 4 hours here for the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Typically, it runs 8 to 10. Typically, it's 2 hours.
Okay, I was like, holy shit, when's this thing going off the air?
Yeah.
Like, it's past midnight, started at 8. What's going on?
Yeah, typically it's 8 to 10. No idea why it's the length it is right now.
Yeah, I think my only problem with that show at all is just like I don't know everyone on it. It's like starting over and just I don't know storyline. So I wasn't enjoying it as much as the WWE product, but I'm like, if I keep watching and following along, I'll blend right into it, and I'm sure I'll like it.
Right. I will be going to the gym tomorrow more than likely, and probably on Friday. It sounds like, which I will catch SmackDown, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it live. But SmackDown is so hard to stream live, anyways, because none of us know what's going on in the commercial breaks, and it just kills us.
Yeah.
But I'll try to be here on Wednesday in here and maybe watch some Dynamite with you if you have a chance to. I can kind of fill you in on some of the storylines, at least who the characters are, at least.
Okay.
Give you some background on it.
Yeah, I'll.
I think you'll like Julia Hart. I think you'll like. I think Brody is somebody I think you'd like. He's a big, kind of like Super Beast-esque character. Just a big, strong dude that has some pretty good speed to him and size. So I think you'll like some of the secondary characters. And then Will Ospreay, and then I'm sure you saw Swerve. Swerve is very talented. Black guy.
I definitely saw Ospreay. He's got quite a bit more hair now than what I'm used to.
Ospreay?
I think so. Oh wait, no, not Ospreay. I'm thinking of I'm not thinking of Ospreay. Is it Chase? Not Chase Oliver.
Nope, that's an indie wrestler.
Yeah.
Does have a lot of hair though.
Damn it.
Not John Moxley. He's bald.
No, he does a bunch of flippy shit too. And why I'm blanking on his name, but
Ricochet has a beard, but he is also bald.
yeah, not Ricochet.
Okay. Guy
Okay,
with
so
long hair.
Will Ospreay is bald right now.
No,
No,
I'm just
got a
going.
bit of got like tufted hair in the front, right? Kind of
Yeah, I guess
reddish,
it's maybe pompadourish a
almost.
little bit.
Okay, so yeah, that's who I was watching. Okay,
Okay.
got confused because you're just like he doesn't really have hair. I'm like, he's
Not
got
long
more hair
hair.
than
That's
well,
in
not
fact, I
longer hair,
want to say
but
his hair
he's got
might.
longer hair than what I was used to seeing him
It's about what
have.
it's always at. I mean, maybe it was a little bit shorter and a bit more product when it was younger, but I mean, that's about the same hairstyle he's had. He's a
Okay,
little bit bigger than he was. Like when you may have saw him in clips and stuff that we were watching around here in 2016, 2017, perhaps. He was a much lighter fighter, a wrestler. He was probably
well,
160. Right now, he's probably 190 to 200 pounds.
well, regardless, over the years, you're gonna change, fill out your
He purposely did
hairstyles.
that.
Potentially gonna
His
change. So,
style was taking a toll on his body, and so he wanted to change. And so he can still do all the shooting star to people on the ropes and all that kind of stuff like that.
yeah.
The handsprings out of the ring. Only thing I don't think he throws anymore at all is the 630. He doesn't jump, tuck, and pray anymore.
Yeah.
Ricochet does that, so it's fine. That's the difference. He put on a bit more weight, a little bit more muscle to help defend his body from all the abuse. Ricochet decided just to be chiseled out of stone.
Yeah.
He didn't get any heavier, but everything he's got is just muscle mass. It's ridiculous.
All right.
So,
Well,
but
that's
anyways,
for Wednesday, yeah, I'll be in one of the discords here.
All right.
Most likely.
I'll try to pop in.
If any reason I'm not, it just means something came up.
It happens.
I might have to deal with the farm and the duck houses because we got that strong rain over Saturday.
Yeah, it
And
rained a ton Saturday here.
they sent me a video of basically like a creek going through the one horse pasture and then passing through the runs
They
of
wanted a water
the
installment.
duck houses. The ducks were swimming in their little walking run.
They had to love that.
They did seem to be having a ball, but it's not good for their dry bedding to be completely soaked. So probably gonna have to pick a day somewhere in the week here to change that.
They're gonna put a request in for a lazy river soon.
Well, they got a wonderful pond. They're fine.
So. As we're running down here on time, random stuff that I was given by friends. Finn Balor, NXT figure. I don't know where I am on your camera because I have two different cameras going, one for Yoshi and one for not.
You're actually kind of pretty dead on for mine, so that's pretty good.
Okay, cool. So I doubt they paid the $15 on that. If people give me a hard time on that price. They do a good job of finding deals. So we can add Finn, another Finn, to the list here. And then I already have 2 Kenny Omegas.
I got Vinnie Mac.
Nice. Of course. Of course. So I have not on the shelf or anything. The shelf is pretty much right now 1, 2, 3. The shelf is primarily 4 people with some others mixed in there. So the shelf is primarily Liv Morgan. There's like 3 Liv figures up there.
Oh, yeah. Once I do a shelf, it's going to be like Undertaker and Deadpool.
3 Ruby Riots up there. 2 or 3 Rhea Ripleys. And 3 Sarayas.
That kind of gives me an idea. Are they starting to make any Stephanie Vaquer action figures?
Not yet.
That might be actually one I'll go for.
Ringside Collectibles is who you're going to want to watch for that. They make all of the figures essentially.
Okay. I'm not really like a collector of that stuff, but if I'm going to do shelves, it'd be nice to have a little something to put up there.
I get that. So a lot of my favorites are up there right now. That's what that shelf is for the most part. Danhausen's figure is up there. Britt Baker's figures up there. Finn, Demon Finn from the 2017, I think, game is up there. 3D printed dragon. Yeah.
Deadpool dragon.
Yep. But
I'll have to figure out how to do that and put that up there. Cross swords for the tail.
But Kenny Omega was the last figure I got. Someone gave me. Very cool. I didn't have this one. I have the base one where he's in the same gear as Hangman Page back when they were a tag team. And then I have the Street Fighter edition still in a package. Most of these will probably come out because they're easier to display without packaging. Packaging just takes up so much room.
Yeah.
But, so yeah.
It kind of seems like the ones where it's like you want to save them in the package. Just like at that point, it's like, you should maybe knuckle down by 2, keep one in the package and display one.
Yeah, pretty much. I try not to let that kind of stuff weigh into my decision on displays because I don't ever really resell anything. And if I take it out of the box, if it lowers the value of it, it doesn't hurt me any because I'm not looking to resell most of my stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, these are just normal figures anyways. These don't have any real value to them. I looked them up because I was kind of concerned about the fin. I thought maybe the fin might have some value. Kenny here, they make 1 million Kenny figures. They're biggest dude in AEW, so makes sense.
Yeah.
But I could actually put a lot more figures up on that shelf if I wanted to bury the shelf in figures because I got a lot. I do need the Will Ospreay one. I don't have that. And I still need to get Buddy Matthews. I don't have a Buddy Matthews figure yet. Big Buddy Matthews fan.
Yeah, with just being at that con near DC, I saw that Vince McMahon and just like the open ones just in a baggie. I'm like, I'll never see this again. I should just get it to just anytime we want to like reference him and be like, remember this shithead?
Yeah.
I mean, it's because he ain't gonna stop until he's fucking dead.
Of course not.
It's just not.
But
So
Toy
many rumors
Ohio,
of them just saying like he's gonna buy it back. Like, God, okay.
I don't buy that. I think he'd start something new before he bought it back.
Yeah. Anyways, Toy Ohio.
Yeah. That would have been something we'd do this weekend, but there's a lot going on this weekend. But there is a big major toy show in Ohio called Toy Ohio. Great show to go to. Tons of toys. Whether you're a lot of wrestling stuff. Always a lot of wrestling stuff. That's where I found Swoggle.
Oh, wow.
Big Swoggle fan in this house. And his WLC match opponent.
To your left, just slightly. Your left. A little bit further. There we go.
Half of him is off screen on my camera. All right. So yeah. And then Swoggle, I guess.
Oh, that's pretty dead on. Yeah.
There we go. I'm learning where the camera's at, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they came with a little tiny table and a little tiny chair and like a step ladder in the same figure set. Found that at Toy Ohio. They have great toys. Everything there, though. They also have Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, whatever you're looking for.
Is it like the half-high step ladder where it's only got like 5 steps?
Pretty much, yeah. The ladder's the same size as the figures.
Yeah, okay.
So it's pretty good. I love
one
that
of those
match.
ones where it's just like it's just tall enough so you can reach your ceiling in your house.
Right, you're meant to change light bulbs with it. That's it. Like,
yeah.
And you're standing full go on it too to get to the top of the light bulb.
One you can keep in your like broom closet.
Right, exactly, behind a door somewhere. It's like a little step thing. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, but they usually have great guests. This weekend they have Blair Davenport. Actually, that's formerly known as Blair, now back to be Priestley again from NXT. She's one of the guests. Way back when, he had the stud muffin himself from ECW, Joel Gertner. Used to have all the innuendo-based monologues he would do. Wear a neck brace that was like purple or pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to him once. I was like, how much time went into your monologues before you went out there? He's like, man, Honestly, most of it was just made up on the spot, man. I'm like, that came to you on the top of your head. Are you kidding me? And then they're bringing back again. She's a regular at Toy Ohio. Allie the Bunny. She used to be a big part of TNA and a big part of AEW. But she's most notably probably for TNA because she had a battle with Rosemary for the longest time. They have a lot of merch together too, which is really cool. Those are the guests. It'd be really cool to go to that, but there's just a lot going on that Saturday.
Was she just for a time? Was she just known as like the Bunny or something?
She was the Bunny when she was her dude. I want to say it's the Butcher. Maybe it's the Blade. There's a tag team called the Butcher and the Blade. Okay. One of them is her dude, and the other I think was the bass player for like Slayer or something.
Oh,
but yeah. For a band, I should get that straight. I know the tag team well enough that I should know who they are individually, but I don't. That's on me. But yeah, so she went by the Bunny. Also, she went by the Bunny when she feuded with Rosemary. She was trying to slay the demon. There was a whole Buffy the Vampire Slayer type gimmick going on with those two.
Yeah, I definitely remember her because I was back watching a little bit with that. And you tell me it was really pretty good. So
yeah, it was a good story.
For a bit.
Yeah, there was a whole different universe that Rosemary was part of. They had a lot of fun with it.
I think I was seeing some of those matches on Twitch, actually.
I believe it.
I think they were playing some of it there. I think that might have been where I was seeing it at the time.
But yeah, Ohio's got a ton of stuff going on today. This Saturday. That's one thing. You got AIW running over in Akron, with Gigi Dolan, which is now back to being Priscilla Kelly. You got Alana Black, formerly Cora Jade, and then
Priscilla Kelly. Didn't she just get hurt?
Her knees pop back in place. It's fine.
Okay.
It's a thing, I guess, from the sounds of it. She made a post on it. It hurts. She works through it. It is what it is. It's been that way for a while. She's scheduled to wrestle Katie Arquette right now. Okay. And Cora's Black Scott. I shouldn't say Cora because I think she did a funeral for Cora at the show she was at. Kind of like burying that character and going back to who she was. But anyway, she's wrestling Jocelyn.
Okay.
And then there's also a card show, a sports card show going on that day. So there's a lot going on 21st in Ohio. But anyways, pick your poison. There's a million things to do. All fun, all pretty cool. If you're in the area, check any one of those things out, if not more than one. But
yeah,
that's an hour. I feel like we covered everything from Raw pretty well, and then some.
Yeah, we didn't do too much of the King of the Ring thing, but I don't know. It was a bunch of meaty men slapping meat and Jay Uso in the middle of it. I call
right. It's Joe. I believe in Joe Uso.
I'm sure there is a Joe Uso. Look at that family.
The big part was Jay winning, and the big part was Cody coming out to make the save because they're about to wrestle. I guess if anything else came from that match, it was weird. I was watching it at 1 minute. They're like, Reed has been dominating this whole match. It's so impressive. And then, who was the other big guy in there? Not Sheamus.
Oh,
not Sheamus, not Reed.
Rusev.
And then like literally 3 minutes later in the match, Rusev has been dominating this whole time. It's like, how did you have two dominant forces in a match with four people? Like, how did this happen? Cole? What?
That was Cole doing that.
I think it was Cole. I was pretty sure it was Cole. And then in the end result, I guess the other big part of it is that you're starting to see the alliance of the roster versus the Seth groupies or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, he needs like another person or two.
Yeah, to make that stable kind of feel OP, he needs at least one more person. He's got the right people. I think he's just short one, like you said.
Yeah, so far they're kind of getting handled.
Well, they pissed off everybody at the same time. So now they've pissed off LA Knight, Sami Zayn. I know I'm forgetting somebody.
I I mean, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, fucking with Jey Uso a little bit here.
Right. They've angered like half the roster.
A lot of
So
people.
the only thing keeping some of those people at bay is because they've got bigger intentions with Cena. So yeah, it's just that's what that match was for, to give Jay back his momentum. I guess to make Rusev and Reed look strong at points. I guess that's what they were shooting for, was to be like, these guys are big and strong and we've just got them back. So like them because they're big and strong.
I
Or
really kind of
fear them, so to speak.
I really thought they were going to give that match to Rusev. When I saw him in there with who all was in there, I'm like, they might give it to Jay, but they might hold him to just do something different with him.
Well, they wanted I think they figured people would assume that Jay wasn't going to win just because of the next matchup being against Cody.
Yeah.
Cody's so detrimental to Jay's career right now. It's sad. You're in a tag team match with me the night before you defend your world title against Gunther.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, I have a chance to get my title shot back. Yeah, but you got to go through me, and I'm the golden child right now. So
they turned Cody heel. I've been purposely fucking screwing you over. Just taking you out at the ankles.
Yeah.
It's been me the whole time.
I mean, they did that with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
How long is Drew supposed to be gone, actually?
How long is who supposed to be gone?
Drew McIntyre.
Oh. I don't know. I think I kind of missed the reason why he's gone. Is he like out for like injury or?
No, I think he's just taking some time off.
Oh.
I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a long break, but I think he's taking a slight break.
He's been out since the last PLE, right?
I think so.
That's I think he coughed up a loss, and that was it for now.
Yeah, I mean, he's been going strong. He deserves some time off. He's done a lot of stuff. He's
Sure.
feuded with everybody for a while, so it makes sense. But like, he's another character that, when he comes back, is a strong character. So,
oh yeah,
he almost would make more sense in that match than Jay did.
Yeah, they're big man slapping meat.
So, but okay. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think that was it. Just a quick little brief over the main event, and
that's it. We did. I did kind of skip over it after Jay winning, just because to me that's what it felt like that was for. But I guess it really honestly was also to show Rusev strong, Reed is strong, and then the roster is getting pissed off Seth's shenanigans.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we'll have more to talk about, whether it's on Friday night during SmackDown or if it's after SmackDown or whatever it is. We'll figure something out and do another one of these. These can be found, if not tonight, then by tomorrow on the commentary table on the YouTube channel. The VOD will be up on both my Twitch, which is listed here, and both Forsaken's Twitch, Ben's Twitch as well, because he also streams live at the same time.
Even on my YouTube, which if you're streaming like you had that setup you showed me, it should show my YouTube and
yep, that's the same one. You can see it at his Twitch is at Forsaken, and his YouTube is at Forsaken TTV at YouTube. And Zim Plays here is my Twitch channel, and YouTube is Matt Zimmer. Although this kind of stuff here, most of the wrestling stuff probably won't show up there unless it's combat sport related, UFC stuff. If we play 2K, WWE2K, I will show up on probably my YouTube and the commentary YouTube. But if it's wrestling related, or even probably some UFC related stuff, it will be at the commentary table YouTube channel when it's all said and done for sure. That's kind of like the catch-all. I'll make sure anything that we do wrestling related or whatever is there. And just to make it, an easy place, that's the content you like. If you don't like trucks, like SnowRunner, you don't like repo gameplay videos, then the commentary table will have more of everything that's wrestling, UFC, sports, whatever, but mostly wrestling. That's what we do consistently. Yeah. Gameplay stuff, follow the rest of our stuff instead, because we also play video games because, well, we do.
Yep. Pretty much a mixed bag.
He plays a lot of Fishing Planet.
Yeah, I haven't been streaming it lately. Maybe I should have been. I don't know. It's not that entertaining, so I haven't been boring people with that. Give people the wrong idea.
Probably going to play a lot of driving games. I'm going to mix in some UFC commentary stuff because I've been back to watching the UFC again a lot. And I might come back and play some old school games and mix in some new ones here and there. But I might go back and start the Gears of War series again, for example, and choose some stuff like that from back in the day to play that just reminisce, talk about some of that stuff and the design choices they made and compare that to games today type of deal. And get some more achievements just because.
Yeah.
But yeah, driving games, sports games, stuff like that. Anywho, it's been fun. I think I'm done. Are you done?
Just about. Just one question. Have you been hearing this cat behind my door caterwauling?
Not a single time. No
Okay.
cats. The dog
Thank
is
God.
proficiently loud and heard
okay.
at times, but the cat, nothing.
Yeah, that's why I brought him in here, and then I've been listening to you going like, "Oh yeah, explain our channels," and he's just out there. I'm
Listen,
like,
okay, I've got
up,
family
dude.
members that don't want to give me an hour to do this thing, and you've got pets that don't want to give you an hour to do this thing.
I don't know what the fuck he wants from me. I got the little dog in here he don't like.
Maybe he just wants to torture the dog.
I mean, I'm just gonna open a door and he's gonna be like, "Fucking dog,"
and then run away.
Yeah. So
cats do that.
Yeah.
All right, it's been fun. Let's close this out, and it's already after midnight, so
yeah, I gotta give him attention.
Yeah. Talk to you Friday or Saturday at the worst. We'll maybe do another one of these, and we'll go from there.
All right, we'll see.
Yep. Talk to you later, Nanette.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.